Are you tired of juggling countless tasks and struggling to close deals and missing out on potential customers? Well, in today's video, we've got you covered. Get ready to supercharge your sales process with the 4 types of sales software you absolutely need. So stay tuned as we dive into the world of CRMs, lead gen data software, prospecting tools, productivity apps that will absolutely revolutionize your sales game. So let's dive into the 4 types of sales software you must be using for your agency. And this doesn't have to just even be for an agency. If you run any type of B2B business, you need to be using tools like this. So first and foremost, where exactly do we begin? I think the most important tool is a CRM, a customer relationship management tool. I like to look at it as a CRM as it's basically like the heart of your entire business. All communication with clients, emails, calls, notes, meeting tasks, more on the prospective side is all kept in there. All the information on the contact names, on the company names, on your opportunities, even proposals, quotes, it all is stored in this one central database. I see a lot of companies that don't use a CRM. They use spreadsheets. They just use Gmail for whatever reason. It's not productive. There's too many options on the market, too many even free options where there's no excuse to not be using a CRM. So the 4 different types of CRMs, or I should say that the 4 CRMs that I enjoy most, I think are the best on the market, is HubSpot, Close.io, Pipedrive, and Airtable. They all have, free or cheap options. And then obviously as you scale up, they can get more and more expensive. But you really can't go wrong with any of these. But at the end of the day, you just need to be using a CRM. It will help keep you organized. You'll be able to keep track of all of your brand new opportunities that are coming in, all of the meetings that you're having, all of your opportunities that are in the pipeline, the quotes that you have out, all those different things, they need to be stored so you can just easily see like what's going on, what's the health, what's the forecast. And it's important even if you're a solo business owner, you're handling all of sales. It's even more important as you start to bring on people to help you out on the sales side, whether they're full-time or contractors. You got to be understanding, what are these people doing? What are the results they're getting? Where are all my leads coming from? How many meetings are being booked? What's the conversion rate from that first discovery call to proposals and quotes being sent? What's my close rate? A CRM is going to give you all of that data. It's going to store all of that stuff. It's going to help keep you and your sales reps on top of those things and not lose out on opportunities. Just by having a CRM and actually having it optimized, you're going to be able to close 1 to 2 extra deals a month. You don't need to invest in more lead generation or anything like that. Just by having a solid CRM, trust me, you're going to increase your conversion rates. So first place, again, I would start is get a CRM. Next, let's talk about data, lead generation, whatever you want to call this category. But basically, these are the tools that are going to give you names, phone numbers, emails, LinkedIn profiles, whatever data you're looking for the most part of your prospective customers for your outreach. You're going to use some type of data tool. And if you're just beginning, most likely you're probably going to have to do cold outreach, whether it's cold email or cold calling or DM or whatever it may be, or a combination. You got to find this information. And obviously, if you checked out any other videos, I think cold emails is a great way. I mean, that's how I built my agency to where it is today. It's a great way to be able to scale, without having to invest in paid ads, SEO, or whatever it may be. And obviously, to be able to do cold email, you got to find cold emails, and tools like a ZoomInfo, a Seamless, and Apollo. Those are just a few on the market. There's a ton. These are great tools that are going to give you access to that data that you are looking for. So I definitely recommend getting some type of data tool. ZoomInfo, it's great, but it is expensive. On the more cost-effective side, I'd say Seamless and Apollo. One thing I do want to note is, these tools are not perfect. You are going to get bounces still. You're going to still get bad data. I definitely recommend taking these tools and running them through some type of a verification, like a zero bounce, a never bounce, Scrubby, something like that. Because I've done tests where Apollo and it comes back as data being, 100 contacts being valid. And then I've ran them through these second verification tools, and, 20 to 30% were actually bad. So definitely make sure that, use these, but also use some type of other tool to actually double verify. Okay, now that you have that data, you need to be able to do that outreach. Again, whether it's a combination of emailing, calling, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it may be, you don't want to manually email everyone. If you're sending 5 emails over a month, you don't want to have to manually send every email. You just want to be able to automate as much as possible and just, make things easier for you. And that's where a prospecting tool or a sales engagement platform, whatever category you want to call it, comes into play. And there's different types. There are tools out there. There are more on the call side. That's like a power dialer where it's gonna call a bunch of numbers up. Whoever picks up, it'll direct you to them. A dialer where, hey, you're on a list. You call, as soon as that phone ends, it goes to the next one. Then you have more kind of email heavy ones where they're just email tools, a tool like Instantly, which I think is great. They're just specifically for email. Then you have tools that are more omni-channel where, if you're doing, you're calling, you are emailing, and maybe you're using LinkedIn as well. A tool like an Apollo or an Outplay come into play in this case. So I definitely recommend getting some type of prospecting or sales engagement platform. There are a ton out there. I think figure out, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be calling? Are you going to be emailing? Are you going to be using LinkedIn? I mean, there's prospecting tools out there that are just for LinkedIn, like an Expandy.io. There's tools out there just, for Twitter, for example. You could build something with like text.au. There's a lot of options out there to be able to scale your outbound process. Don't just manually do things. And obviously make sure that, you're doing it the right way. You are not spamming. You have all the correct measures in place, especially for cold emails. So you actually end up in the primary inbox. And then finally, getting into the productivity category. I kind of break this down into a couple categories. These are just basically tools, that are going to kind of not maybe help with the direct selling, but kind of help in the back end, throughout your sales process. Obviously, you want to send type of contract, some type of agreement to your, future customers. So using some type of proposal tool is just going to make things easier. Obviously, you could just write something on a Google Doc and download it as a PDF and send it, but you want to look more professional. So using a proposal tool like a PandaDoc, that's a great one out there. There's HelloSign, there's, I think EverSign, there's a ton out there, but PandaDoc is probably, I think one of the best on the market. Communication. Now, this doesn't have to be just for sales. I mean, this could be internal or external, but I definitely recommend setting up a Slack. If you're not using Slack, to communicate with contractors that are working you, or you could even have a Slack for your customers' channels for them. I think it's a great, easy way to communicate and not just rely on email. And then obviously for sales, you want to have these meetings. You could obviously do a phone call, but I think, the time period we're in now, I think everyone is used to video calls nowadays. So I definitely recommend some type of video tool. Zoom, they're, a popular tool, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. And then obviously, to get those meetings, you need somehow that prospect to be able to book a meeting on your calendar, which obviously you could manually do it, but you're going to just increase your conversions if on your website, or if in your maybe cold emails or your outreach, you send an actual meeting link where it's connected to your calendar. They can go through, put in their information, fill out the time, select the date they want to do, and then it will automate some emails. So a great one, is Calendly. There's other ones on the market, Chili Piper. HubSpot actually has their own meeting tool. A lot of Outplay, I know, has their own meeting tool as well. So there's a bunch of options out there. So those are the 4 categories, the 4 types of software tools, sales software tools that you must be using for your agency. There is no excuse to not have these. I mean, almost everyone has a free version, which I will create in a future video, the $0 tech stack. But for now, go ahead, check out these tools, implement them. And of course, if you need help with setting any sales tools up, that's where RedFuel comes into play to help out. Go ahead and book a call, talk to our team, and we can help optimize your sales process to increase your revenue and also automate at least 10 hours of your time each week. All right, guys, tune in next time.